Things are looking bleak. The stock market went down significantly yesterday. Big tech stocks down significantly. Bitcoin dropped below 90,000, below 89, below 88. And we got to discuss what's happening in the market so we can make informed decisions. The most important thing in a market environment like this, in my opinion, is being aware of what is going on. As gold rockets, Bitcoin plummets, and taking the altcoins with it, so we need to get ready. The S&P 500 down over 2% yesterday, which as crypto degen seems like a little, who cares about that? It's just a little tinkle down. But it's pretty significant for the big old markets. The Nasdaq also down a little bit more at 2.1%. In my opinion, as I dollar cost average into the market on a Monday, I don't really care. I'm fine with buying at these prices, and I'll continue to buy if we continue to drop for the stock market. But what is happening with Bitcoin? Looking at Bitcoin's price, it's not terrible. We didn't lose the old 87,000. We did come down to 87,800, but we still have this uptrend intact, in my opinion, right? We've come down, we retested previous support or previous resistance, depending on where you look at it, and now potentially flipping it into a support. We're going to see what happens as Bitcoin rises up to that $90,000 psychological level. Can we just break back above it quickly? Time will tell. In my opinion, we've got some crazy, unimaginable, unthinkable, whatever you want to call it. And they are that. Before you call me someone who uses clickbait, like the president of America saying it's just going to take a country is unthinkable. It is unimaginable. This just a few years ago, we would be very surprised we were talking about it. But I believe that if this comes to some sort of resolution, that resolution, I don't know what it could be, but last time we had tariffs that everyone was scared about, they said that the market was over. Reputable people who I respect in this market were telling me, hey, this is over. Not telling me personally, but on the internet going, this time's different. Do not buy the dip this time because it's going to keep dipping. And guess what? It didn't. Right? So this was the last tariffs. And by the way, we haven't even cleared up that tariff debacle. Remember, there was going to be a whole court ruling, a Supreme Court ruling as to whether or not these were legal. But before that, let's get some more tariffs going. All right. So the market doesn't like that. We know the market doesn't like that, but we also know what happens to the market after it digests the news. So if this is another 20%, 25% correction, that might just happen, guys. And you might just have to accept it. Right? That might happen. It might last longer than this. It might last less longer than this. It might not even dump. We might get over it before the day is over. Nobody knows for sure. That's the most important thing. With that said, looking at the actual news, gold reached all-time highs of 4,830. The total stock market erased $1.2 trillion in market value just today. And if we go to coin market cap, you will see that the entire market cap for crypto is 3 trillion. So a third of the entire market cap wiped off in one single day for the stock market. That's how early we are, right? That's how much more liquidity exists out there. And that's why I think we're still early. We've got Donald Trump, again, all of this unimaginable stuff just a few years ago. America will be representing at Davos by me. That's what he's saying. This is happening, and probably we'll get some word about trade, tariffs, and America First policies. This could be, he could say something, oh, by the way, in less words than this, psych, I was just joking. And anyone who got panicked, obviously I mentioned the tariffs on the weekend, so it wouldn't affect the market too much. Keeps doing the same thing over and over again, right? And then after a few months later, he can look back and say, well, guys, I gave you the opportunity of a lifetime. From that low to this low, it's up. Guys, the stock, the QQQ, the Nasdaq is up 50%. 50%. In less than a year. And people still have the audacity to complain. It's absolutely wild. And I understand if you're not dollar cost averaging, if you're lump sum buying at all-time highs and then panicking when the market crashes and then ignoring how the market's actually working, I understand how frustrating this can be. But this is your sign to learn. This is your sign to practice. This is your sign to use any losses you've had as your university ticket to freedom. Right? Because that's what this is. We have an opportunity, right? People who buy assets and hold assets, in my opinion, are the ones that are going to win. This in crazy economic environment that we're in, the poor are going to keep getting poorer, and the asset holders and the super rich are going to keep getting richer. That's what I believe. The middle class is getting wiped out, and that's just something that I can't help. You probably can't help. So unless you want to be part of the government, we can play the game. And this is how we play the game, guys. But Greenland's prime minister tells citizens to prepare for a possible US invasion. And I ask Grok, is this real? And it accurately reports the current statements from Greenland's prime minister. This is absolutely insane, right? It's not lightly, but it cannot be ruled out. This is absolutely wild. I think this is all absolutely insane what's going on. Now, BlackRock just started liquidating their crypto holdings. They are non-stop selling Bitcoin while the whole market is dumping. Guys, beware of these sorts of posts. Yes, it's true. BlackRock is dumping, but it's people who are using the ETFs who are selling. BlackRock is just buying and selling. You can see it's from IBIT. Whether or not they're manipulating the market, they wouldn't be doing it with wallets that you guys know about, right? That's not how I think the manipulation happens. It's not like, oh, IBIT is literally dumping all of their stuff and therefore, you know, they're trying to crash the market. No, this is people panicking, right? We also have this. Look, Coinbase sold, Binance sold, Wintermute sold, Kraken sold, Whales sold. In fact, all of these are whales and users. They're selling, right? So Binance, Coinbase, all of these people, they have to sell because someone has to sell the Bitcoin that's being sold on their exchanges. Trump also said he'll give out $2,000 tariff dividend checks without Congress. So the madness, maybe there is some method to this madness. But right now, we see massive whales in $40 million losses, and people were surprised by this pullback, even though we called it here on this channel. How did I figure out there was going to be a pullback? All right, and why was I expecting it? Well. There was almost no shorts. And I think it was $16 billion worth of longs. So first of all, we've wiped out more than 50% of the longs, and the shorts have now piled in. Today, we are average shorts and longs. Yesterday, we had more shorts. The day before, we had less shorts. Day before, less shorts. Day before, almost no shorts. So I said, expect there to be volatility to the downside, and it's going to be quite intense. And anyone who's been watching the channel for 1 week knows that I'm not making this up. It's exactly what I said. I expected this. I'm not surprised. No, I didn't short the market. Didn't do any of that, right? I just told you that this is what I'm expecting because of the data that I use. And this data is great, right? This works. And it's not going to always work. It's not going to be foolproof, and it's not going to call every top, every bottom, every crash, every pump. That's not how it works. It's just a data set that I use. But less longs, more shorts, Conor equals Conor more comfortable in going long. Appreciate every single one of you, and I'll see you in the next one.